been about a week now since Absolute Batman number 20 came out. Obviously, most everybody watching this knows what happened with the printing errors, all the damaged books that are out there, all of the either real chaos, manufactured chaos, however you want to look at it, that was put out there last week. It's something I just wanted to address real quick. It's not going to be a long video, not going to be a long spiel. I did go out and grab, I went an hour to get to my local-ish shop and picked up a book, and then the rest of them I had came in from DCBS for my monthly subscription. Those came in, and all I wanted to tell you is two different points. Number one, there are books that are not damaged. I don't know how large of the population is not damaged at all. I've heard from a couple people that their LCS had books that were perfect, no spine creases at all. And then I've heard the same thing from everybody else that you have, that there is nothing but damaged books that are out there on the shelves. So, first things first, I ended up getting these four, and these four had two different types of creases. I'm assuming this is either caused by the rollers from the printer. I think it was after, obviously it was after it was folded, but one of my books had the front cover pinched so tight that it actually pushed the inner folds away and sort of bent the staple out a little bit. So that hard crease almost behind the rest of the folds of the book, there's nothing you can do unless you disassemble the book. And this isn't a book to do that on, really. So, but anyway, the other ones are the main types of creases of pictures that I've had friends send me. I've seen people post online. It's been some variation of these couple of stress points on the spine. So what I decided to do was to take them and go through the normal process of trying to get that crease out. First thing that you've got to do is you've got to go under the cover, and you've got to get that crease where it's a valley. You've got to get that pushed up and out. It needs to be up enough to where the moisture that you give it and the press that you give it allows it to come up and go out and flatten out. That's really your big goal. One thing to keep in mind though is this paper on the new books, it's really thin, and most of the time it's already got moisture in it. You can tell when it's sitting on the shelf, it's got all the waves right across the middle of it. It's just very thin paper that doesn't do well in the environment for the most part. So take that into consideration when you're pushing up underneath that cover trying to get it up. It's not hard, it doesn't take a lot to do it, but you just need to make sure that you're actually in the crease, and then work the area right outside of the crease to where it can, instead of be a valley, it can now be an actual peak of some sort, just raised a little bit above the rest of the cover height. And once you've got that done, and this particular book I was working on had a bunch of other spine ticks, spine creases, whatever, towards the bottom, and a bunch of issues on the back too, and got those all pushed out all at the same time. But go ahead and you need to hit it with a decent amount of moisture. I use a humidifier, just a little handheld humidifier. It's nothing special. I try to put pretty good little amount of saturation. What I mean by that is I might hold it on the spot for a second and a half, something like that, just on that one spot, and then even out the whole rest of the cover. So you'd spend like a second or a second and a half on that crease, and then probably a second to a second and a half for the entire rest of the cover. So that's what I mean by going kind of heavy on that one spot. But after you get the moisture on there, you get your books all folded up. These books are ones that you need to be a little bit careful how much pressure you're going to give it, because the staples are not just your regular typical flat staples that you would love. These are like nooked, and there's a space in between where the prongs of the staple actually fold in. And you've got this area right here that if you press with too much pressure, you're going to look on your front cover and your back cover, and you're going to have the little staple curves from where it's bent and put in. Those will actually be showing and punched out, sort of popped out of the top of your cover. I usually go through and I'll take my inner sheet, my magazine backer board, and then I'll just clip it out with these fancy hole punch clippers that I got from Amazon. Nothing special, I don't know, $7-8, something like that. And then go ahead and I'll lay the backer board out into the magazine next to the staples. I'll mark where the spots are, you know, how far they're sticking out roughly. And then I'll just, you know, follow my marks with this hole puncher and then cut it out. Makes a nice, perfect little wave right there. And then I'll put a piece of just regular copy paper on the front and the back of this. And what that does is that allows the centerfold, your magazine backer board, to go all the way into the centerfold. So now it's all the way in, protecting the spine, and you know, from here to here. And then you slide the paper on the outside and the inside of the staple. That way it won't push through to those inner folds and then start, you know, compressing out. And then I still do a piece of copy paper under the front cover and under the back cover. Just your regular like sandwich, essentially. But that is probably overkill. You will probably want to try it without it. Some people don't like it. It does make a beefier press, but what I like about it in this case is it gives you that little extra added height that'll allow that crease to stay pushed up as it gets pressed down. It doesn't give another valley. It doesn't give any space underneath for it to go, and it works out pretty well. So that is basically the steps. 145 degrees for 8 minutes, maybe 10 minutes if you want. And then I leave it in there for 24 hours and then I'll pull it back out. Depends on what press you've got. You definitely don't want to go above like 145 on these new books. You'll kind of brick it and you'll pull it out and you'll hear it just, you know, start kind of breaking apart as the pages release. Doesn't pull ink or anything most of the time on these new books, but try to stick to 140, 145 degrees, depending on which kind of press you got. I've got a bunch of presses that are the exact same brand and they heat differently, so each one's a little bit different. One of them I've got at 139 degrees, the other one I've got at 145 degrees, and they do the same thing and do pretty well, so just test it out. These books are going to be a dime a dozen. I don't know how many hundreds of thousands of these books that were printed. And over the course of the next, I don't know, month, 2 months, these will get shifted into the real cheap, I think, into the real cheap range to where you can pick them up for just a couple of bucks. And if you want to practice on those then. But, okay, so that's the pressing thing, you know, blah, blah, blah. No big deal. What I want to show you and what I want you to be aware of is that there are two schools of thought. If you are looking for this issue, if this is the one that you've been looking for, this is the one that I was really looking forward to. I'm super bummed about it, and I'm gonna have to go out and try to find my own undamaged copy so that I can try to get a 9/8 to go with the rest of my Absolute Batman 9/8 stuff. However, I've got these two books that I've got pictures that I'm gonna show you of are kind of what you can expect. One of them, it's a bad crease. I mean, it damages the paper. You're gonna probably have a good many color breaks that are in the spine from where it happened anyway, even if there's not really much of a tick left, just where that roller went down at an angle and dug into that cover, it's probably gonna be a color break, and you're probably not gonna have a shot at a 9/8 depending on what the damage is to the actual paper. Both of these books that I'm gonna show you did not turn out to where they would be a 9/8 potential. There is color rubs on the back of the one that looks the best, but there's also damage that you can't really see from a normal picture, and that's what I want you to be aware of. If you're out on eBay, if you're at wherever online looking for a potential 9/8 candidate of this book, or you see this auction or this listing that says you're getting one that's already been pressed, it's already fixed, it's perfect, I want you to realize two things and just keep it in the back of your head. This is not knocking a bunch of people on eBay for their tactics. There's just another step for you to be prepared. It's traps that I've fallen into a lot. You can manipulate what a book looks like with light. It's very common. Everybody knows this. There's a lot of people out there who will do before and after pictures on their books and not use the same light. They won't have it in the same place. They'll use a different kind of light. Anyway, what I mean by that is you've got this book here. This one turned out great. Like I was really, really happy with it. And you can see where all the spine damage is the light's not reflecting off of that spine damage. It's really, really, really good. And I've got the light in roughly the same place as it was. But over on the after picture, when it's all gone, if you just barely, you can leave the light where it's at, but if you just tweak your camera angle just a little bit, you can still see where it was. And as I show a closer up picture here, you can definitely still see where it is, but it's not in a spot that really reflects light nearly, like it did. It's not, bending out the entire cover like it did. So when somebody tells you that they've got a perfectly good, that it's been pressed and it's been fixed, know that there is a chance that this is still going to be there. It just didn't show up in the light that they used. Maybe they did it on purpose. Maybe it was a pure accident. Maybe they just didn't see it themselves. It's a possibility. But just expect this to happen if you do go out and find one that somebody's advertising is being pressed. Like I started off with, there are books out there that did not get damaged. So there are books out there that will not have this as even a possibility. And if that's the case, that's the ones you want to go for if they're not charging an arm and a leg like they were last week. I think I saw multiple auctions listed as sold for $150 for one that didn't have a defect on the spine. It's certainly not worth it to me. I don't know if it's worth it to you. That is a decision that you will need to make. But anyway, with the other book that I did, it didn't clean up nearly as well, or disappear, I guess, nearly as well as the other one did. You can see real well that the defined line from that hard crease is still there on that spine. The book looks great. I mean, it's very sturdy. That place isn't weak. A lot of times if you have really bad spine damage, that the entire area of that spine would end up being real weak. This one turns out good. Also, it's just, I build it all up with that big sandwich, all of those pieces of paper in there to get the inner folds to try to get evened out as well. Because if you don't do anything with the inner folds, that cover's just got a valley that it can fall right back into. So the first time you grab it and pinch your thumb around it, then you're just back in the same boat that you were again. And that happens a decent amount at CGC, the way that they handle it. If you've got one that's got a severe spine damage, you can build it up and it'll look really good. But then once they grab it, or once it gets put into that inner well and dropped down into the case, and when it gets sealed and you have even just the smallest amount of, banana gate or bending or whatever you want to call it, then, that'll make that crease just pop right up again. And then it's in the same boat as it was before. It's just the characteristics of the book. It's just the way the paper reacts, the stacks of paper. You do the best you can, and you hope that everybody treats it, carefully and handles it well and that kind of stuff. But on this particular book, not a significant value book, obviously. I doubt that it's really going to be worth much going forward. This is just a short, message to just throw out there to just be prepared when you're looking online at this particular issue exclusively. It's very easy to do. It's very easy to get away with, and I don't want you to be disappointed if you do go out there and you pay the $15 to $20 or whatever people are asking for a pressed in good shape book. Now, they might be great. They might be absolutely perfect, and the ones that I got just weren't able to be saved, and that's perfectly fine too. I'm not trying to deter you from getting it. I'm just wanting you to make sure that you ask all the questions that you possibly can. You get all the pictures and every angle that you possibly can. And whatever you do, don't buy anything for this particular issue with a stock photo, because you don't know what you're gonna get sent to you. So just be careful. If I can help you with anything, please let me know. I will continue to let you know if I come across any more that have better results than these four did. But it's able to be made into a good book. It's not an eyesore by any means. Just know that the damage is still there in different places on the paper in that spine, and it's likely to remain there after it gets cleaned and pressed. But I hope this helps. I'm just talking from my own experience. I've had lesser books be sent to me than were advertised, and it's never comfortable having that conversation with a seller on those kinds of things. But anyway, that's all that I've got for now. I hope that everything else is going well your way. I hope that we get to talk about something more fun next time. But until then, I hope you're doing well, and I can't wait to talk to you again soon. If you have any interest in cleaning and pressing, check out improvecollecting.com. Jim's created a school that'll show you how to do anything and everything you need related to cleaning and pressing, step-by-step, videos, how-tos. There's about 100 or more of us that are in there. The community's great. It's a great price, and I think you'll really enjoy it. Links down in the description below.